Hi skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. We have a special video to share with you today, or really it's actually more audio than actual video. If you saw our latest review on the 2021 Armada Declivity 92, in the beginning of that video we talked about an organization called Goggles for Docs. It was formed to help get goggles as eye protection for doctors and nurses and other hospital staff that are on the front lines of the COVID-19 fight. Those people were either reusing face shields or basically had nothing at all. Reached out or formed this organization as a way to get goggles in the hands of these staff. It's taken off. There's been a really, really good response thus far. You can actually go to the website and look at different hospitals and see the amount of goggles that they requested, what they've received, the percentage fulfillment. And last I checked, it was looking really good. But there's definitely going to be more work to be done and more need for goggles. So we thought we would put this video together. And yesterday evening, I had the chance to chat with Mike Halperin. He's an emergency room doctor in the Bronx and was one of the kind of founding organizers of Goggles for Docs. Originally, that conversation was intended for me to just learn more about it, to kind of put together an article to share with you guys. But I thought that conversation was really interesting for me. It was fairly emotional, I think, for both of us. And I thought it was an important enough conversation that we should share it with everyone. So the rest of this video is just going to be audio. It was a phone call, so the audio is not as crisp as maybe even my basement studio audio. But you can definitely hear what we're saying. And Mike's got a really cool story to tell. So listen to that story. Head over to Goggles for Docs, see where they can use goggles. There are literally new hospitals being added to the website on a daily basis. So there's going to be more need for people like you and I to help with our goggles kicking around. I found 5 or 6 pairs that I didn't use anymore and shipped them out with the shipment from Ski Essentials earlier this week. So I encourage you to do the same if you're in a situation like me and you've got some goggles sitting around. So I hope you enjoy the chat that I had with Mike, and we'll talk to you soon. I thought I'd put a bunch of skis behind me as kind of some teasers of things that we can talk about over the next few weeks while I'm here working from home. And I've got some others too. This is just a selection of kind of some stuff I brought home with me. Yeah, pretty cool. I've got like a house and basement filled with 2021 skis right now, so kind of exciting. So we'll talk to you soon, and we'll be back to ski reviews before you know it.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Mike. How are you?
I'm okay, man. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So, I don't want to take too much of your time. I figured I would just chat with you and try and maybe put an article together for our blog tomorrow just to, tell the story a little bit and try and drum up a little more interest.
Of course, man. Yeah, happy to help. You guys literally, I'm pretty sure it was your goggles, the Smiths, I think. Anyway, they're literally, they were passed out today. So I'm happy to help, sort of paint a picture for you and, really just try and express my gratitude, man. Like it's pretty amazing what you guys are doing.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's amazing to hear that. Like, I mean, I saw pictures of them in the warehouse the other day, and to know that they're in your hands already is awesome.
Yeah, it was quick.
When was it, and how did the idea kind of come to you?
Literally probably Thursday or Friday. There's definitely sort of a growing anxiety about lack of, personal protective equipment. So,
yep.
I called my aunt and uncle who live out in the Steamboat. Kind of grew up sort of chasing my Aunt Rachel and Uncle Harv around the mountain. And I just called them up and said, hey, wonder if you guys have any old ski goggles lying around the house. And of course they did. But then they reached out to, their buddies, and one thing led to another. Pretty soon I was emailing and on the phone with John Schaefer, and this, really all the credit in the world to him and others on that email chain. There were probably 20 people.
Yeah.
Just with remarkable sort of amazing ingenuity, speed, efficiency, they put this together. At what point did you kind of maybe you were even on that email? It's really hard for me to keep track at this point.
I wasn't. I think I found out about it probably Sunday morning.
Okay.
I got a text from a colleague in the morning that was like, "Hey, we need to do something about this," and we were like pretty immediately like, "Yeah, absolutely! Like this is awesome! Like yes, like."
Yeah.
And then it just kind of exploded from there. And from what I've seen, I mean, it looks like it's kind of taken off. I mean, I keep checking the site, and it looks like things are going pretty good.
Yeah, I had reached out to sort of some friends in the New York City area, and I trained down in Louisiana, so I reached out down there. But yeah, man, when I look at this site now, it's definitely beyond my immediate circle of ER doc friends. So it's definitely sort of all the organization. It's taken off. I've never seen anything like this, and it's such a cool. I think it's just such a cool example of human ingenuity, man. Like, problem in front of you. How do we fix it, kind of thing. It's really neat.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, how is everything going for you guys right now? Like, how do you have everything you need?
Yeah, I think it's a continual challenge, because what's so amazing about this virus, is that it is, pushing the boundaries of everything we know, definitely in medicine, but pretty much every aspect of society. It's affecting everybody and everything. So, it's definitely not something where we're like, it's a nervous energy, I think, is the best way to explain it. People are forever sort of in the hallways talking about ideas and how to do this, how to do that, how do we grow, how do we get better, how do we get quicker. I think it's created the best of people, because
absolutely.
There is no perfect answer to anything right now. So it's like, okay, lacking the ability to say, oh, this is going to be 100% this, then all right, well, how do we get to 90%? How do we get to 95%? So that's kind of the spirit of the whole place right now. So it's challenging. It's, I won't lie, it's scary. But it's also a bit invigorating to see everybody kind of marching to the same sort of challenge, right? Sort of one step at a time.
No, it is. It's. I mean, I guess if you can draw a positive from the whole thing, it's pretty awesome seeing people come together and solve a problem.
Yeah. It's I wish someday somebody will sort of very eloquently tell the tale. But it's remarkable to see one example, sort of you guys in the ski industry really stepping up to the plate. But let me give you another example today. Talking to really our engineering department, right? And we're all doctors and nurses. Like, what do we have to do with the engineering department? But a big discussion now is, all right, well, how do you open the windows and increase airflow? Like, there are 10 windows in our emergency department that were never designed to open. It's just some sunlight.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So it's like it's a cool sort of corollary to the eye protection issue. Is like, all right, well, let's how do we quickly better ventilate this place?
Yeah. It's super interesting.
Yeah. So there's a lot of it's challenging. There's a lot of stuff happening that's kind of unprecedented, but I think for the most part, what you're seeing is people really rise up and run forward rather than, kind of scurrying off. So it's cool.
Cool. Last question. This will probably, whatever I write will definitely go out to mostly skiers. So what do you have anything or anything else that skiers or the ski community in particular can do to help in this current situation?
I think this virus is really the ski community has been unique in their ability to really help us out with this specific issue of eye protection, but not to sound lame, but it's the same ask of everyone is to keep the wheels from falling off the hospitals. Young ski, the ski community is a fairly fit and active crew. So it's the same for everybody, to use your imagination to imagine that buddy of yours, or that small get together of very healthy people could potentially be really, really dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's hard, man. It's like, I myself see it all the time. It's like, what's scary about this virus is, we have no idea how to predict who's going to have the sniffles or, who's going to be on their deathbed. So it's like,
yeah,
it's just, it's nothing novel that I could tell you. It's everything that, that the smart people in the press and are saying is we all sort of as a society need to really take it seriously and keep our distance just for a time in order to essentially keep the wheels from falling off.
Yeah.
That's the big ask. And it's hard, man. I know it's hard.
Well, I think it's an important message to get out there still.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I never imagined I would sort of be literally just mountains of ski goggles showing up, and it's amazing, man. Just walking around with a smile on my face all day. It's like
good.
It's just so helpful, and it's just amazing. It's such a cool human story. I'm just super proud of all these people I've never met. It's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike, for talking.
No problem, man. Reach out anytime if you got any other questions.
Yeah, I will. I'll probably text you tomorrow at some point as I start writing, just to kind of clear things with you, or so to speak. And yeah,
cool.
No, I'll be in touch for sure. We should try and ski sometime too once this is all
that'd be awesome. That's what I keep telling my friends. Is someday when this all blows over, gonna be a pretty cool tour of all these mountain towns.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome.
Cool, man. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks, Mike.
All right. Bye.
Bye.